Okay, I want to talk about the SKS firing pin and primers. Now, for those of you who don't know this, there are two types of primers. You've got berdan primed and you've got boxer primed. Now, with berdan primed, which is usually the cheaper steel case foreign made stuff that you find at a good price that everybody loves to shoot, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good. But with berdan primed, you have more of a tendency to pop your primers. That means you can destroy the firing pin. You can do some damage to it. There's upgrades for the SKS. The standard SKS, they have a free-floating firing pin. If the firing pin gets really dirty, there's a lot of crap that builds up, well, the firing pin can stick. And that can cause what they call a slam fire, where it just basically hits one round after another. It stays in place and just you got a full-on automatic rifle there unintentionally. It can be very dangerous, especially if it gets you by surprise. So, the firing pin with a return spring from Murray's is what I installed on mine. It will solve the problem of the slam fire. However, you have two problems now because, well, you can not only pop the primer with the firing pin, but now you have a return spring that can also be damaged. So, I would recommend you buy the firing pin with a return spring and put it in a cleaning kit, or you take apart your gun and clean it very thoroughly and regularly right after shooting, like you should do. But if you're kind of lazy and clean it every so often, I would recommend the firing pin with a return spring. If you're buying this rifle, if you're trying to make it for some shit hit the fan type scenario, well then I would recommend definitely firing pin with a return spring. And I would recommend getting boxer primed. That's going to be the bit more expensive stuff. I see berdan primed at Academy about $4.50 a box of 20. The boxer primed, you're looking at probably $8.99 to $20, so it can range double to quadruple the price. But if it's for shit hit the fan, buy a couple boxes or buy what you need and put it aside, and of course target practice with the steel stuff. The regular firing pin, the old traditional free floating pin, you can get pretty cheap. They're on eBay, about $12-15. So what you'll wind up saving from that part, I mean, you can buy it, keep it aside, still fire off the cheap stuff. If you break it, no problem. I've got a link to where it shows you how to replace the firing pin. It's pretty easy to do. So you'll save a lot of money in the long run. But if it's for shit at the fan type scenario, well then put the firing pin and put the good stuff. You don't want to pop the primer in that kind of situation. It's not very likely, but still you want to cover all your bases. You need something reliable. If there's a problem, well, have a solution to that problem. It doesn't happen that often, but it can. You're not likely to get struck by lightning, but it can happen. Now, anyway, just thought I'd go over that. And should say in the box, if you're not sure, look into it. But again, if it's a cheap target ammo, it's steel case, it's probably berdan primed. It has a chance, but not guaranteed. You can go through one box with the first round and pop the pin, the firing pin, or the primer, or go through 600, 700, 800 rounds and then pop the primer. You never know. So anyway, just something to look out for, guys. Hope this helps. Any questions, let me know and I'll get back.